All right, we excited this episode. So we getting into like the good stuff. So those past episodes, if you watched them here, I'm not sure what episode we were on, but maybe 6, 7, I'm not really sure. But we did a lot of preliminary work, just kind of building up our form, being mindful that we need to get in warm-ups, being mindful that we need to get our shoes off, and working on those contact points. So for now, what we're doing, last episode we were talking about all the phases of the race. We're not going to train the start phase right now. We could train that in the gym. We could train that a little bit later. But I'm going to start with the drive phase on out. The start, I feel like we're going to really work on that a little bit closer to when we get more to in season, because that's more of like explosive movements, but we could train the strength as well. But right now, today, we're starting with the drive. So for this, all you're going to need is a sled. It's important that we train this weighted. This is what I do. This is what helps me get that power. My body responds very well to resistance. So I usually start with about 55 pounds, which is pretty heavy. You can go a little bit heavier, but not too heavy, because remember, we still want to get that form. It's going to be, it's going to be cold soon and it's kind of chilly right now, but we just want to make sure we're just getting in that proper boom, right? We're getting those big steps and we're just coming through the balls of those feet, and we learn how to get that knee up, and then put that power down. So that's what we're focusing on through this. We're not going to get like a good, how we want to, but this is definitely training that power. So being able to push. So that's what we're learning right now. We're learning to push through resistance. So get that resistance loaded up, get that sled loaded up. Don't judge me, bro. I'm skinny. So make sure we get that weight good across the lap, good across our hip. You can, sometimes they have harnesses to go over your shoulder. I use the belt. It's just something that I have. You don't need to get too fancy or technical. So one of the biggest things we want to do is we want to make sure we get it to that split start. You can start with your start leg, but I would say start with some off your alternate leg too, because you're going to want to drive, because remember, your first step is your non-dominant step, right? So you're pushing with that big one, boom. That first step is bam, right there. So you want that second step to be just as powerful. So I'm gonna start switch leg for right now, just to show you guys we need to also train both legs, the dominant and the non-dominant. So the key here is we want to focus on driving and pushing. So pushing, when we get out, step out, boom, and we're staying big. So it's gonna be explosive and big, boom, 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 boom. We're not looking at speed right now. We're not looking at quickness right now, because this is counterintuitive. Slow is fast. You have a slow cadence, slow, powerful cadence, the faster you go. It took me so many years to learn this, because when that gun would go off, I think like, oh, I'm quick, let me get my quick feet. Like, no. You need to use your power. You got to use if you're a taller athlete like me, that's your superpower, because most of these guys out here are short. They're like 5'9", 5'10", and they're quick. So they got to use that turnover, but we can use our turnover later, right? So as you can imagine, if you train this power on this big stride, then guess what? By the time you come in your transition, you still got your turnover in your pocket, and they've already used theirs. So guess who's going to be the faster athlete? It's not really about speed. It's really about endurance and running the race smart. So I think that's kind of what I've gotten into, learning how to run the race in an intelligent manner. All right, watch my form here, right? Chest, I keep my chest up, even though if my chest is down, my chest is still up, right? I'm not hunching over right there like that. I'm kind of keeping that chest up, and I'm pushing. I'm going to push. So get into that proper form. Just watch me. Sit. Big, 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 big. Right? Kill it. Get it for about like 30 meters and walk it backwards. This is one of my other quick tips here. Work on your quads. You're gonna catch your breath on the way back, especially I don't know how trained you are. Well, we're all newbies, right? So it's gonna be a little taxing, but here, turn around backwards and walk it backwards. So same thing, remember, everything comes to the ball of their feet. So reach back, boom, boom, boom. And I guess I'll kind of tell you guys, like, when you do this, you're gonna feel it in your quads. So we're training our quads. Hold on, I gotta turn. We're training our quads at the same time, right? So you get back to your spot and then regroup. Give yourself a couple of seconds. Since this is your first one, right? There's various ways that we could do the sled workout. We could do it, we could superset it, where you go rep, 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 jog back, rep, 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 jog back, rep, 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 right? So right now, since we're just starting, this is our first start, we're working on the drive. We're just trying to develop power. So we want to give ourselves a little bit of time. Maybe take 5 minutes, regroup, and then get back after it. This next one, just for the sake of giving you guys a proper example, I want you guys to watch my feet, how my feet land, and how I'm pushing off the ground. So I come, boom, explode out, rah, rah, right? So that's gonna be most important because that's our whole drive phase. If we can pull this sled, as hard as we can in proper form, then guess what we're doing? We're strengthening our whole stride in a whole stride chain. We're strengthening it while we're training at the same time. And this is something that most people don't do. You know, they just run. And yes, you'll get faster like that, but we need to develop. We need to develop our strength. And this is how we keep ourselves from getting hurt or getting injured. Chest up, push through, sit, go. See how I stayed low the whole time? I stayed low and I just dug and I just drive, push, rah, push, rah, push. That power. If you execute this, this is 90, I'm not even kidding. This is about 85 to 90% of your race. Just being able to push through that form, rah. And the more we rep this, especially when we're in the off season, the better we can develop that power. So when you get off them blocks, that next step, you're just able to take off on everybody because you've added resistance and you develop that strength with that big, powerful stride. So that's what we're doing right now. We're developing that big, powerful stride. All right, I'll give you one more rep. All right, I think I cheated, so let's switch legs. Remember to always switch legs. Whatever you do, if you do 3 reps on this leg, make sure you do 3 reps on the other leg. So about 6 reps, especially when you're first starting out with that heavy weight. Don't go too heavy, try to kill yourself. Nowhere close to 100 pounds. I say about 55 to 60 pounds is perfect because we want to still be able to get those knees up and push through. So we don't want our feet to collapse. We don't want things to collapse. We want to be able to stay in that good form, but also challenge that chain. So I'll give you another good one. All right, set, go. Big, 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 stay low, big, ah. Right? You see how we just eating up? How we just eating up distance? So this is another one. If you want to challenge yourself, and if some of you guys are watching, they're a little more intermediate, when you finish that rep, turn it around backwards, then we jog back. Stay on the ball of those feet. Jog back. Chest up, same form. Use those arms. See, I'm pumping them arms. There we go. Yep. All right, so that was how I train my drive phase and the importance of using resistance and the importance of that form. Staying big, getting those knees up. I might have to get you guys another workout just to help out. But this one is good enough. If you do this, you're gonna be great. So catch y'all next episode. Peace.